Good day to everyone. Today, we are going to present our research outline proposal entitled Physical Attractiveness and Likelihood of Criminal Victimization in Davao City. The Chapter 1 contains the discussion of the background of the study, statement of the problem, hypothesis, review of related literature, theoretical and conceptual framework, significance of the study, and the definition of terms. Background of the study. Physical attractiveness has been a common factor associated with the victimization of individuals. The victim's attractiveness or unattractiveness becomes a factor for victimization. Motivated criminals choose their suitable target based on physical attractiveness. Based on routine activity theory, there are three factors necessary for victimization and crime to occur, which is a suitable target, motivated offender, and absence of a capable guardian. The combination of one or more of these factors lead to victimization. Physical attractiveness becomes a factor of a suitable target. Humans have preferences on what is attractive concerning the face and the body. That being physically attractive becomes a victimogenic effect on individuals and is considered the drawback of being physically attractive. Physical attractiveness have an impact on how men view women being sexually attracted. Men see women who are physically attractive more sexually aroused than non-attractive women, therefore decreasing the label of non-consensual sex. In addition, men who are physically attractive are considered to have more socially accepted characteristics. The female victimization by sexual harassment is influenced by facial attractiveness. Criminal victimization is a common occurrence in society, whereas the relationship between physical attractiveness and criminal victimization have not been conducted in the locale. The researchers wanted to determine if there is a relationship between physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization in Davao City. Statement of the problem. The researchers aims to determine the correlation of physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization by answering the following questions. The first question is to determine the level of physical attractiveness in terms of age knowledge, media portrayed images, mood, body weight or physical fitness, and looking in style. The second question is to determine the level of criminal victimization in terms of type of crime, age, gender, race or tribe, salary, intelligence, and trustworthiness. The third is to determine the correlation of physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization in the study. Next is hypothesis. The hypothesis is tested with a 5% margin of error and 95% confidence level. The research used a null hypothesis that there is no significant relationship between physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization. Next is the review of related literature. Various materials have been collected from different literatures which are related to physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization. A study by Losardo D. 2014 that every culture has an ideal of what makes a beautiful face, and that there is an agreement between gender and various ethnic groups on what face is considered unattractive. Moreover, by Losardo, 2014, that beautiful faces is based on biological standards of symmetry for both sexes. In addition, according to Bryan et al. 2011, for ladies, that bodily traits like youth, body shape, small weight, low body weight, lower body mass indexes, well-rounded and big breasts, leg measurements, and buttocks are described as extra desirable. While for men, it is measured by manly physical dominance, taller height, and stronger musculature. The non-physical attributes of physical attractiveness can be compassion, intelligence, sense of humor, reliability, determination to succeed, single, emotions involved for a potential marriage partner. Then, according to Chukiira T. and Cabeza R. 2011, that society will assign favorable characteristics or positive characteristics to those who are physically attractive. In addition, in elections, the candidates who are most likely to win are physically attractive candidates than those unattractive candidates. According to Diller v. 2016, the factors for determining physical attractiveness are age, media portrayed images, body weight, mood, and looking and style. In addition, Grabmayer stated that the images in magazines contain the best body shapes in a culture. Busterwick S. 2014 that humans try to look like the models in magazines. Looking in style also affects an individual and their self-esteem. According to Turanovic J.J. 2015, Menard S. 2012, Decamp W. Zywowski H. 2015, that the age victim curve is used to analyze the victimization process. The relationship between being a perpetrator and being a victim of crime has developed over the life of an individual. Then, the age also becomes a motive for the victim-offender relationship. According to Menard S. and Covey, HC 2015, that there are unique relationships between victimization and offending for both men and women. Men are more likely to be an aggressive offender than women. Members of gender minorities are more likely to be victimized by violent crimes. Next is race or ethnicity. According to Tesler R.A. et al. 2018, that over 80% of the bias-motivated violent victimization is influenced by race or ethnicity, and that 50% of that bias on victimization occurs on non-Hispanic whites. Next is income or salary. According to Bonds J. et al. 2012, routine activity theory and lifestyle exposure theory indicate that victimization rates vary because individuals in these groups participate in a range of behaviors. The results indicate that the effects of gender, income, and marital status on victimization. According to Questa J. and Alda E. 2012, that there is an association between intelligence and victimization. Persons with lower intelligence are more likely to report being victimized. Next is trust. According to Beaver KM et al. 2016, that perceived levels of interpersonal trust in the community, along with personal characteristics and experience, can affect the individual's level of trust in other members of the community. Physical attractiveness can be a victimogenic trait in sexual victimization and considered as a drawback of being highly attractive. Synopsis. According to Pater G.L. 2012, physical beauty is the most visible and easily seen characteristic of a person. Physical attractiveness is measured through different indicators such as waist to hip ratio both in men and women. The likelihood of criminal victimization is identified through various factors such as age, gender, race or tribe, salary, intellect, and trustworthiness. The physical attractiveness of a person serves as a standard or the basis of how a person can be chosen as a suitable target. The physical attractiveness serves as a basis for motivated offenders in choosing their victims in all types of crime. Theoretical framework. The first theory is routine activity theory, that motivated offenders select their acceptable goal or attractive target based on their physical attractiveness and in the absence of effective controls. This theory explains why a certain individual may be a victim of robbery, rape, assault, harassment, depending on the type of crime that makes them an appropriate target. The second is the principle of social stratification. Social stratification is the division of society into various levels. Barry B. 2020 said that there is a social stratification based on an individual's appearance. Society has put man's arbitrary positioning on society on the basis of physical appearance. The third is symbolic interactionism theory. Symbolic interactionism theory sees culture as being made up of symbols that people use to create meaning, build views of the world, and connect with each other. In this theory, people attribute various meanings to people on the basis of how they look. Conceptual framework. According to Diller v. 2016, as seen in the figure, it stated that these are the following factors that affect how physically attractive an individual is. These are age, media portrayed images, positive mood, body weight, or physical fitness, and looking and style. According to Hairston J.M. 2017 and Kaiser S.L. 2013, stated that race, age, gender, income, types of crime are factors for victimization. In addition, Woodwell B.B. et al. 2017 stated that intelligence is also a factor for victimization. The type of crime identifies the different crimes, whether it's against persons or property. Also, the trust given by the people in the society to other members of the society. Next is significance of the study. The study is beneficial to the following personalities. First is the people of Davao City. Second, the local government. Third, criminology practitioners and law enforcement professionals. Fourth, national government and legislative department. And lastly, our fellow researchers. Definition of terms. These are the terms that are defined operationally in our study, which are crime, criminal victimization, motivated offender, physical attractiveness, routine activity theory, stratification theory, suitable target, and symbolic interactionism theory. Chapter 2, Research Design. The researchers see the correlational research as a fit research design as it would clearly present the relationship between two variables the level of physical attractiveness, and the level of the likelihood of criminal victimization. The correlational research designs help the researchers to verify if there is a connection or if physical attractiveness of an individual can increase the likelihood of a person being victimized. Research subject. The research was conducted in Davao City, Philippines, utilizing the simple random sampling method. It is composed of the three different congressional districts in Davao City, and its respondents are citizens of the city. The respondents are also registered voters and of legal age. According to the data by the National Economic and Development Authority, that as of 2020, the population of Davao City is 1,825,450 residents. The sampling design used in the study is simple random sampling, in which there is an equal chance for each member of the population to be selected for the sample. Each congressional district composes 33.3% of the study. Research instrument. A questionnaire was used in gathering data. The questionnaire has two parts, one for the independent variable and another for the dependent variable. The questionnaire consisted of items that determine the level of physical attractiveness and the level of the likelihood of criminal victimization. In evaluating the level of physical attractiveness and the likelihood of criminal victimization, the following scales were used. First is the range of means for the independent variable and the dependent variable. For the independent variable, if the score is 4.20 to 5.0, it means very high or valued at all times. The same goes with the dependent variable. 3.40 to 4.19, high, valued most of the time. 2.60 to 3.39, moderate, valued occasionally. 1.80 to 2.59, low, few instances. 1.0 to 1.79, very low or not valued at all, or the physical attractiveness and the likelihood of criminal victimization is not valued at all. Next is the range of R values for Pearson's R. 0.00 to 0.19 or negligible correlation, which means there is no relationship between physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization. 0.20 to 0.49 or low correlation, which means there is a little relationship between the variables. 0.50 to 0.69 or high correlation, which means there is a substantial relationship. 0.70 to 0.99 or very high correlation, which means there is an excellent relationship between the variables. 1.0 or perfect correlation, which means there is a perfect relationship between physical attractiveness and the likelihood of criminal victimization in Davao City. The next presenter is Jaisal Relion.
With proper endorsement of research coordinator, permission to conduct the study was sought from Dean of CCJE department. Once the letter has been approved, we will select 6 districts in Davao City. After we identify the respondents, we will administer our research instrument, which is the survey questionnaire. We will personally administer the survey to assist respondents in answering the questionnaire. This is to address immediately any clarificatory questions and to avoid problems in retrieval of questionnaires. So the respondents will be given time enough to answer the questionnaires to prevent them from giving hasty responses. After it has been accomplished, the results will be tallied and tabulated. The data will be the basis of our analysis and interpretation.
So, good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. My report is all about the statistical treatment of data. It is very useful in a thesis writing in order to make use of the data being collected in a right form. Furthermore, it would apply different statistical methods to the data to draw meaning from it. So the researchers employed statistical tools to treat the data by the following. First is the mean. So the mean is the tool that is utilized to get the average, analyze the data measure to get the level of relationship between the physical attractiveness and the likelihood of criminal victimization. Next is the Pearson's R. So the Pearson's R is used to determine any significant relationship between physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization. So next is the ethical consideration. So in conducting the research, the researchers observed the following ethics. So these are the scientific soundness, consent from the respondents, information validation, confidentiality, and avoiding plagiarism. So as we, the researchers, are not experts in this field, we seek complete guidance from our research advisor. And furthermore, the researchers asked consents from our respondents to be a part of our study and validate their utterances that are made to our survey and making their identity completely confidential. And of course, lastly, is avoiding plagiarism so that we can take full originality in our research study. And that's
Let me do the recap of our thesis defense. Physical attractiveness is a common factor associated with victimization of individuals. Motivated criminals choose their suitable target because of their physical attractiveness. The study aims to answer the questions regarding the correlation of physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization in Davao City. The researchers hypothesize that there is no significant relationship between physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization. The physical attractiveness of an individual serves as a standard or the basis of how a person can be chosen as a suitable target. The physical attractiveness serves as a basis for motivated offenders in choosing their victims in all types of crimes. The study is grounded on three theories, which is routine activity theory, social stratification theory, and symbolic interactionism theory. The conceptual framework indicates that the factors of the two variables, namely physical attractiveness and likelihood of criminal victimization. The study utilized a correlational research design, simple random sampling in the three congressional districts of Davao City. The sample consists of registered voters, with each district contributing 33.3% of the study. The study will utilize a modified questionnaire from Dealer V 2016 and Hairston JM 2017 and Kaiser SL 2013. The research will be conducted in an orderly manner, and the data will be statistically treated using mean and Pearson's R. The researchers follow the following ethics in research, such as scientific soundness, consent, informant validation, confidentiality, and avoiding plagiarism. That's all, and thank you.